Right, we are live. What's up, everyone? What's up? Welcome in tonight. Welcome in. What's up? Come on in. Say what's up as you're coming in, or hello, or hola, or however you say it. Come on in tonight. It's gonna be really good. Welcome to the reset. What's up, Wendell? Welcome to the reset. Welcome to the reset. What a night we have in store for you. As you're coming in, we welcome you in for sure. Let me get myself, make sure this is set and doesn't make any noises tonight. Beautiful. Yeah, say what's up as you're coming in. I'm tapping in with you. What a night we have. What a night we have ahead. Welcome to the reset for sure. For sure. As you're coming in, let me know how you are doing. What's up, Malachi? I see wifey in the facility as well. Shout out my man Isaiah in the he's our IT specialist for tonight. He's running the back office. My guy Isaiah in the background here. What's up? What's going on? What's going on? My man Catino, what's up, man? Welcome in, man. Hope you're doing good. Man, that's my workout partner right there, man. We put in work every week. Absolutely. What's up, Tanisha? Come on in, y'all. Man, welcome to the reset. It's gonna be good tonight. I know it is. I know it is. It's going to be good tonight. Welcome to the reset. Give y'all a couple minutes to come on in. Let me know how your day was. Let me know how you're doing. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. I knew it. Look at that. Cruz in the building. Hola. Hola. What's going on, Cruz? Absolutely, man. Come on in, saying what's up. I believe they are ready, Isaiah. I believe so too, man. That's good to see it. I'm gonna give y'all probably about 2 more minutes. Come on in, man. Say what's up. Let me know how you summarize your day in one word. Summarize it. Some order. How about this? Some of us have had an extended weekend. Summarize your week so far in one word. I like it. Catino said I'm still feeling the spirit from Sunday. That's incredible, man. Me too, man. It was what a weekend. What a weekend. My man Quello. Q, what's up, my guy, man? That's my guy, man. Been rocking together for over 10 years. That's my guy. That's my guy. That's my guy. What's up, man? Productive. Okay. I like it. Productive. I like that. I like it. Wendell said catch up. I know how that can be. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, just to make sure, because y'all know when I start, it's like, we're gonna go for it. Let me know if you all can hear and see me okay. We're trying out this new setup, new audio, new video type vibe. So let me know. You can hear and see me okay. Want to make sure that we're good in that regard. And then we're going to get into some good things tonight. I'm telling you regarding the reset. Absolutely. Thank you all. Yes, thank you all for inviting people in advance. I shared it on my Facebook earlier as well. Absolutely. The reset is here. Definitely. Yeah. Thank you all for inviting people for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, let's get into it. I'm gonna I want to start from this place tonight. All right. You are all right. Here it is. I asked Isaiah this question a few minutes ago. And what's up, Cheryl? I want to ask it to you all as well. Um, if you were to use just one word to describe like your current mental state, like the status of your mind, and you can only use one word, what would that word be? If you was to just describe the state of your mind, it doesn't even have to be just today, but lately, let's say over the last, I don't know, last month, how will you describe it? Let me know. Let me know. Tiff, what's up, Tiff? Tiff, man, I love Tiff, man. Tiff Trent in the building. I like it. I like, yeah. So using one word to describe your mental state over the last month. Only one word. Don't give me 10. Don't give me 5. If you was to boil it down to one word, what would that word be? Yes, thank you all for sharing. Absolutely. Crowded. That's fair. Understood. 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 Give me some more. Let me hear some more. What would be one word? I see the word challenging. That's good. I can understand that too. I want to see a few more. That's good. Challenging. Look, I even see the word. This is so good. The word is strong. I like that. I see strong as well. Strong, crowded, challenging. I'm seeing good, good. Auntie in the building. Hello. Good to see your name. Absolutely. Uh, interest. Developing. That's really good. Developing. Developing. This is really good tonight. The status of your mind. Drop a couple more in, you all. This is really good, and it's going to truly help. How about this? I'm also seeing the word victorious. How about that? That's good. That's good. Victorious. I want keep dropping those in. I'm so glad you all are here tonight because tonight I really want to coach us and train us on a really really key area. What's up, Michelle? Um, I want to coach us around resetting our mind. Okay. And I really want to break this down. I really want to get into it. I really want to be patient with this. I really want to answer your questions because I believe there are some practical things that we should do. Uh, Pushing, that's a good one too. Seeking, in order to really reset some things in our minds. So let's get right into it. So this word reset, I even shared it via social media earlier. It's really been on my mind for quite a few weeks. And for those who do not know this, is that I went through a period of reset during the month of July, right? And so this word reset again deals with to set something again or to set it differently and to set something according to its original purpose or intent, right? So there's an original way that we are to think, act, behave, etc. And so obviously over time things happen, right? Because of the current state of our mind. So the word busy as well, right? Because of the current state of our mind, distractions, notifications, etc., it pulls us in a number of different directions, which you all agree to that, right? A number of different directions that we are pulled in. Write this down, okay? Write this down. Many times we think that, hey, when I become less busy, I'll do X, Y, and Z. Right? This part right here, write this down. You are not going to become less busy. Okay. You are not going to become less busy. Like think about it as an adult. When's the last time you sat around and you had absolutely nothing to do? Like nothing. You sat there like, you know what? No one has any demands of me. No one's calling my name. No one needs anything. I don't need to do anything. Like when's the last time that has happened in your adult life? Right. And so you are not going to be less busy. And so in order for my mind to get refreshed, for my mind to be in a place where I can be productive, then I have to be in a state of mental renewal, right? To go through a mental reset, to reset my mind, right? So this is how we're going to navigate this. I'm going to talk through the Word of God and give us some practical things with this so that we can grow together. All right. And so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use tonight a translation called the ESV and drop this in the chat if you're ready. The word is reset. You already know. Let's get into it. Reset, reset, reset. Rocking and rolling. Let's get into it, right? This it says this. So this man's name is Paul. And Paul says this very peculiar. word. He says in Colossians chapter 3 and verse number 1, he says, if if then you were raised with Christ, or if then you have been raised with Christ, uh, he says, seek. Someone said the word seek earlier. I believe it was Cruz. Seek the things that are above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. This is so intriguing to me, Wendell. He says, if then you are raised with Christ. Here's your second note for the evening. Christ's resurrection is also our resurrection. Let's go. Here it is. Let's come on. Let's talk about it. Christ's resurrection is also our resurrection. Now, here's what I love about those who tap into these videos and those who are here for the very first time, is that we have people that believe in God, people who don't believe in God, and for whatever reason, we all come together and just like connect and vibe and listen. I think that's the beauty of true growth, is that when people from different walks of life can come into one setting and all grow together, right? And we all have been in multiple different states. Like you haven't always believed. You haven't always believed in who God is, right? And so I love the fact that we have people who are from various walks of life who tune in, lock in, listen, and are seeking after something, right? Here in this text, he says, if then you were raised with Christ. Again, Christ, that's it. Thank you, Lee, for putting that in the chat. Christ's resurrection is our resurrection. Here. So the reason why we get the opportunity to get up every single morning is because of his resurrection. Which means this: every time you open your eyes, right, you are immediately an overcomer. You all may have never heard this before, right? I heard this as I was studying. The moment you open your eyes, right, you are immediately an overcomer. Because whatever happened the night before you close your eyes, is now behind you. And you now are at or are in, a new day, right? The dawning of a new day, the dawning of a new opportunity, right? God put breath in our bodies, so you are immediately an overcomer. So think about this: before your feet hit the ground, you are already in a state of overcoming, right? So your mind, regardless of how much rest you feel you got or you did not receive, God is putting us in a state of, you are an overcomer. He says, if then you were raised with Christ, right? In the chat, how many of you this is going to be central for the rest of the evening? How many of you would say that you have been raised with Christ, right? Talk to me in the chat. How many of you say, hey, yes, I've been raised with Christ? Again, if you believe in who God is, right, his resurrection is your resurrection. So we need a foundation to be able to build from. So how many of you would say that you are a part of that resurrection? Talk to me in the chat, because that this declaration is what, again, we're going to build from. And I know you are taking some good notes around this. It's going to be very, very instrumental as a theme throughout the rest of the evening. I'm seeing it in the chat. Cheryl put it up. Yes. How many of you? Let's get this clear. I need you all to respond. Talk to me in the chat. Let's be clear. How many of you say, I am connected, I am there? Hands are up. I like it. To the his resurrection. I am a believer in that thought. His resurrection is my resurrection. I'm saying multiple people put that in the chat, right? Keep putting it in there. Here is why that is so important. He says, if that is your truth, which many of you have stated that is your truth, he says, seek the things that are above. I'm gonna break this down. Where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. For clarity, so that we're all on the same page. Christ lived, walked the earth, lives, walked the earth, died physically, right? Rose, ascended to heaven. The Holy Spirit is released into the earth, right? That's the process. Here's what I'm after right here with this. That's the posture of where Jesus is. He says here, because you have been resurrected, we ought to seek what's above where we are now, which is Christ. Here's where it gets a lot more practical. He says, set, that's the word. Put that word in the chat. The word is set. He says, set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. This is where we're going to get very, very, very practical because if we just read this and just glanced over it, it's something that sounds really good, but the reality is if we don't study it, we won't know how to live it. Talk to me in the chat. Like, I don't want to just read words. I don't want to just hear something that sounds good, but I don't know how to apply it to my life. Yes, these words sound good. How do I live it? Does that make sense? Yes, put the word set in the chat. Set. He says, set your mind on things where? Above, not on things on the earth. The word is set. Tanisha, check this out. Here's where I wrestle with this for so long. Y'all, let's get practical, right? How in the world am I supposed to set my mind on things above and not just in the earth when I have to deal with all these earthly responsibilities every single day? Talk to me, y'all. Let's be real. Isaiah, is that honest? Is that real? Like, how am I read it, I hear it, but how do I live it? Tiki, what's up? But how do I live it? That's the key. Yeah, y'all know I'm gonna keep it all the way 100, a whole book with you tonight. All right. How do I live that when I have so many responsibilities? I have a job that's very demanding, or maybe you are an employer, entrepreneur, and you're wearing 10, 12, 15 different hats in one given day. And then when you leave, whatever you do regarding as a career, you then have to deal with family, or you have to deal with singleness and crazy people hitting you up in your DMs. Y'all, talk to me real quick. Colossians 3. Talk to me like really be honest, right? We have to deal with family that calls or texts throughout the day. We have to deal with emergencies that happen. We have to deal with things happening in our own body. There are so many different dynamics. You're checking Facebook, checking Instagram, checking on the latest YouTube videos. It's so much that's going on at one time. How do I pay attention? How in the world do I live this idea of it sounds good? How do I live it? I'm about to give it to you. All right. This is key. He is giving us, and please put this word in the chat. All right. He's giving us perspective and priorities. I'm gonna break it down for us tonight because none of us get this perfect, but we can be taking intentional steps to grow in this direction. This right here, I'm gonna give it to y'all now. I'm gonna be as honest and transparent as I know to be. This right here has changed my entire life. He's giving us perspective, and he's also giving us priorities. All right, perspective and priorities. He says, seek those things which are above, not those things which are on the earth. He says to set your mind on these things. So Here's what he is beginning to speak to, right? As we navigate everyday things, right? We're not only thinking about what's happening in that moment, but our perspective says that I'm living for a reason that's greater than this present moment. I'll say this again, that I'm living for a reason greater than this present moment. Let me give you a very practical example. Sometimes a person who feels like they don't have anything to lose but everything to gain, will attempt to bait you into a conversation to get you to react a particular way so that they can gain from the conversation, right? And to cause you to lose in that same situation. So people will attempt to bait you in to get your reaction, to get you to react a particular way, to get you to lower your standards, to lower your guard, to let all kind of things come out of your mouth, to spend your money here, there, and everywhere. Talk to me, right? Does that make sense? They will attempt to bait you in, to draw you in closer, get you to react, right? And then you end up losing in that situation because we made it totally about the moment we were in. But hold up, Pierre, hold up. The thing about it is, I keep getting caught because of my emotions. Like be real. We all have made some emotional decisions, right? In these temporary situations. And now we're living in the consequence of what we did in a highly emotional experience. Talk to me if this makes sense to you already, right? We were caught up in this moment. We were baited in, we were lured in, and now we feel hooked to this thing. So what Paul is saying here, keep that. I see you all. What Paul is saying here is that he says, listen here, he says, set your mind. In other words, listen, this is so key. This has changed my entire life. Before you leave the house, he says, set your mind. Set it. Put the right things in your mind before you leave the house. He says, set it. And in order to set it, you have to set it on a foundation, hear me clearly, that's not going to move. He says to set it. If we're going to experience a reset, right, then we have to have a foundation or a standard to set our life on. And that foundation, we don't want it to move. We don't want that foundation to have wheels and to roll us around and cause more chaos. He says, set your mind on things above, which means there are certain things that are not going to get your attention because you're making sure that you are giving your attention to the right things at the outset of the day, and then hear me clearly here, and then reminding yourself of that thing throughout the day. I want to hear this. We're setting it in the beginning, and then we are reminding ourselves about what we have set our minds to throughout the day as well. And trust me, we're going to get even more practical with this. But right now, we're just laying the foundation, right? He says, Isaiah, he says, set your mind on things above. Practical. You have to remind your mind about what is most important. Yeah, Isaiah's the only face I can see right now, but I wish I could see all y'all faces. Listen to this. We have to remind our mind about what is most important. Imagine this. Jesus is walking the earth. Many people are being healed. Many people who were sick with diseases, he's laying his hands on them and the disease is leaving. People who can't walk. people who are lame, people who are blind, people who cannot hear. And he's healing all these people. But the reality is this: even though he did all those things, that was not the ultimate reason or the ultimate purpose of why he was walking the earth. Yes, he did those things. Yes, it was a part of his assignment, but it was not the ultimate reason or the ultimate purpose. So the reality is, many people did not want to see him crucified and did not want to see him leave. It's because they wanted him to continue to operate in the way they knew him, in the way they first encountered him. So when people know you a particular way, and they like what you are offering, they do not want you to switch it up. They want you to they want you to keep that same energy, keep that same way. I met you. Don't move, don't change, don't do anything. Just stay right there. Listen to me. As long as I'm benefiting from the situation. This right here is why, even in a practical sense, a butterfly and a caterpillar cannot get along. Listen to this. This is why your new life and your old life cannot get along. When your new life attempts to have a conversation with your old life, it's going to always be chaotic. The caterpillar is mad at the butterfly because the butterfly made a decision. The caterpillar is mad at the butterfly because the butterfly made a decision to change. The butterfly made a decision that I'm not called to remain on the ground. I have something on the inside of me that's built to fly. And so I can't keep arguing with somebody who's determined to remain on the ground when I have higher heights to go to. Are y'all are we okay tonight? Are we listen, the butterfly is wasting energy trying to get a caterpillar to understand why things had to change. And so the reality is, some of us are wasting way too much time trying to convince people about what God has already appointed to our life. You're trying to get them on your board. Get them on board, cause them to be convinced. And the reality is, some of them are already convinced, but they don't want to let you know that they are convinced because they want to keep the argument or disagreement going. Because why? They know I'm dragging you down and I like it down here. Talk to me, please, in the chat. The butterfly has broken up with that old way of life. The butterfly has decided there's more on the inside of it. The butterfly has decided I have a different perspective and different priorities that you have to come up in order to live within. But what's crazy is, when a butterfly is speaking to a caterpillar, the caterpillar has in it the same thing the butterfly does. The reality, but the reality is, the caterpillar is not willing to make a change because they're so confident, so comfortable in remaining what has always been. This is where we're going, Tanisha. Tiki, right? In order, and we're going to get back to this text. You're going to see why I'm using this kind of example here. In order for the caterpillar to be transformed, renewed, grow, go to a higher position, it must go into a cocoon, and the cocoon is its hiding place. Really quick in the chat, Isaiah, family, y'all good tonight? I see you, Sherelle. Put in the chat, hiding place. Hiding place. I'm going to show you something so key right here in the text. The caterpillar must be willing to go into this hidden place. It's uncomfortable. It's dark, wet. Can't see what's on the other side of it, but knows instinctively that this place is necessary. Question: who tells the caterpillar that a cocoon has to be built? God built into the DNA of the caterpillar a desire to grow into something greater. But in order to grow into something greater, the hiding place is required. Christy, it's a hidden it's a hidden environment. I want us to understand this though. In order to live and get this reset, this mental reset, you're going to have to build into the routine of your life these hidden moments. What do I mean by that? Moments where the world can't get to you. It's where we eliminate from our vocabulary, I'm too busy. Because in the hidden place, that's where God does the intricate work of taking you from caterpillar to butterfly. In this hidden place. Where am I getting all this from? Because right? We're not caterpillars, we're not butterflies. Where are we going with this? Y'all know everything. If I tell you we're going somewhere with it, right? Y'all talk to me in the chat. Look at what it says right here in verse number 2. It says, set your mind on things above and not on things on the earth. But look at verse 3. It says, for you died, and your life, this is it, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, who is our life, appears, then you also will appear with him in glory. Look at this again. For you died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. What is he saying? The reality is, if we look back, we won't go there tonight. If we went back just one chapter to Colossians chapter 2, we'll see where Paul is talking about baptism and us dying to our old self and walking into, right, Catino, our new way of life, right? So listen, I said earlier, his resurrection is what? Talk to me in the chat. Y'all caught it earlier. I gave it to you all multiple times. Put it in the chat. I want to see it. Test time. His resurrection is, talk to me. I'm not moving till somebody put it in. His resurrection is, I'll wait. I want to see it. That's it. Y'all got it. His resurrection is our or my resurrection. Listen to this. In order, ready, Isaiah? Ready for this? Christy, in order for there to be a resurrection, that means there also must be a crucifixion. So in order to be raised with him, I see it, Tanisha. We also must be willing to die with him. What do I mean by that? Y'all know me. I'm not about saying things that sound deep or whatever, and then like, yeah. No. Let's talk about it. I see you, babe. I see you, Leah. What does he mean by this? He says that our life, for you died, he says, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. Ready for this? Last time I checked, none of us were physically there when Christ was crucified. However, we are experiencing the reward of his resurrection. So when we understand that our sinful, carnal, fleshly nature, this old way of life, has to be crucified in order to experience the new thing that God is offering. It changes everything for us. Because if I ask everybody here, hey, who wants the new things from God? Who wants all? Everybody will say yes. But the prerequisite is to bury the old way of doing things, which includes a former way of thinking. Write this down. I'm going to explain it. A raised life requires a raised mind. A raised life requires a raised mind. Okay? He says, if you died with Christ, very clearly, he says, your life is hidden in him. What he's done for us in the past is impacting us in this present moment. Our lives, like this caterpillar in a cocoon, is wrapped up in who he is. That means, Tanisha, it's in the cocoon that the caterpillar discovers who they really are, in the hidden place. It's in the hidden place that the caterpillar begins to realize, or have it is revealed, its true image, its true identity. So it's when we are willing to lay our old way of thinking and ways of doing things aside that we start to get revelation of who we really are. And that's only found, truly found, authentically found, eternal benefits that's only found as it is given from God. Please hear this clearly. This takes work. Isaiah, I don't think they want to hear this part. This takes work. This takes every single day getting up and putting in the work. Cruz, why is that? It's because, listen, do you think, because in our, let's make it clear, simple, not deep, clear, simple. In our old way of life, meaning before we received and submitted and surrendered to Christ, our old way of life, right? Satan is the master of that way of life, right? He was the master. He was running things, right? In the new way of life, God is who we are submitted to. He is sovereign. So, do you think the enemy is going to just let you walk out and just let you walk into this new way without making you a target of any kind and without coming after you, right, Isaiah? Without attacking, without trying to come into your mind and pose all these thoughts? Do you really think he's going to just let you just walk out and just leave? Do you think he's going to allow you to be traded to a different team and be cool with it and not receive anything in return? Do you really honestly think he's okay with the fact that you're choosing to worship God and no longer worship idols? Do you think he's gonna just lay down and let it go down like that? No. Even though you have walked into this new way of life, he's trying all that he can to remind you of the weight of sin you were once under. But here's the crazy part about that. He's trying to remind you of a weight that you're no longer responsible for carrying. I want to say this again. He's trying to remind you of a weight that you're no longer responsible for carrying. It is helping somebody tonight. Tiki, check this out. I know you be real, right? Right, sure. I know y'all gotta be real. Some of the things that he is reminding you about in your past, we actually did. Sometimes we get amnesia as if it didn't happen. Sometimes it actually did happen. Sometimes I actually did do that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that in order to really reset our mind and reset our life, we have to grasp, and I pray you all will grab it on tonight, and you will never be sucked back into that old way of life or trapped and constrained to that old way. You will break this. It'll be severed tonight, and you will realize how truly free you really are. I want you to understand this. You're not responsible for that weight. When you receive the work that Christ has done for us, he carried that weight. So who are we to attempt to carry a weight that Jesus has already carried for us? Because the enemy, when he brings up sin, is trying to make you think that you have to carry the weight of that again. But in that moment, you must remind him and that thought of who already carried the weight for you already. And not only did Jesus carry that weight, but it was nailed to the cross. Here's what's amazing about this is that the people who were nailing Jesus to the cross thought they were just nailing his hands and his feet to the cross. But in a greater, higher realm, they were actually nailing our sins to the cross. In other words, they were further setting you free and didn't even know it. They thought they were killing you, but they were actually getting you closer to where Christ wanted you to be in the first place. He did not put his own nails in his own hands. He did not put his own nails in his own feet. He did not put his own crown on his own head. No, he did those things for people, the same people who were crucifying him were the same ones he was dying for. And the reality is, they weren't the only ones nailing him to the cross. We were too. Our sins is what he carried. And when we receive this new way of life, we say, God, thank you for taking my sin, carrying the weight of my sin, so that I can encounter new life. And I no longer have to carry the weight of what happened when I was 10, 7, 16, 22, 38, 46, 52. Every time I get up and I feel the weight of this life, I'll set my mind on you. And I'm reminded I don't have to carry this weight. That you've already been up all night. There's no need for me to be up. This is where you get a different type of rest. If you feel you are stressed, burned out, anxious, all these words, I want to help you here. In many cases, it is because, write this down, you're overextended. Isaiah, burnout, overly stressed, etc. It comes back to this point. You're overextended. How do I get overextended? How do I get overextended? Because we're trying to do too much in our own strength, as if we're the ones that have to completely carry the weight. Isaiah, what am I saying to you? You were never called to carry it by yourself. Never. Never. Listen. I want you all to hear this real quick. What time is it? 7:46. Perfect. ESV says it even better. Colossians 3 and verse 5, it says, put to death, therefore. Good. Hold on, pause. We good tonight? Talk to me in the chat. Let me check the temperature of the room real quick, Isaiah. Let me check it. We good? Put it in the chat. We're good. I need to make sure we're good on that part before I give you this last part. I need to check the room real quick. We're good? I've seen it. I appreciate it, Tanisha. I see you. Verse 5 of Colossians 3 says this. Put to death. Man, that's enough already. I see you, Malachi, my guy. I see you. This is major. He says, put to death. Whoa. Put to death. Listen, Paul's not like, hey, if you want to feel better in the moment, you might want to do this. No. Because, Paul's like, no, if you want to grow, okay, bet. Put to death, therefore, what is earthly in you. He says, kill it. Can I be honest? Isaiah, give me a nod if you think I can be really honest with like, I can't, listen, what I'm about to say, I'm not responsible for. Isaiah said I can say this. So I'm going to give this to y'all all the way, right? He says, put to death, kill it. Therefore, what's earthly in us. I'm going to be real here. You ready for this? She said, be real honest. Some of us are confused, conflicted, so much regarding relationships. Because the one that God has already let you know is not for you. You didn't kill the relationship. You left the back door cracked just in case the next one did not work. You would at least have someone to fall back on. As if God couldn't bring you someone better. God said, close it, but you cracked it. Isaiah, I might be done tonight. I might be done. God said, close it. But you remember that, listen, y'all remember that door that had the little like chain on it? You remember that door? You can like take that chain and hook it in. You can open it a little bit and see who it is and close it back. Talk to me, y'all. Talk to me. I don't know what it's called. It got a little chain on it. You take it and put it in, kind of open it a little bit and you close it. right? God said, close it, but you cracked it. Just in case. Just in case I get in my feelings and I need to find out how they're doing. Just in case I just need somebody to talk to. Come on. Just in case I need to rub. Don't play with me. I'm telling you, there are some relationships that God said close, but you have cracked. And it's like as if, man, I want to move forward so bad. And the reality is you don't. Because true freedom says, I'm getting rid of this because I know God has more for me. The text says, the text says, put to death, therefore, what is earthly in you. And then he has the nerve to go into the specifics. I'm going to read it and then we're going to be done. He says, put to death these things. He says, sexual immorality. Watch out, Isaiah. They might come for you too. He says, put to death sexual immorality. He says, impurity. He says, passion. He says, evil desire. He says, covetousness, or to covet, which is idolatry. Pause real quick. Pause. We know some of these words. Somebody put it in the chat. Room check. What does it mean to covet something? Talk to me in the chat. I want to see. I want to check the room. What does it mean to covet something? When he says, "Do not covet," what is he saying? I want to see if somebody can give me an idea of what he said. What does it mean to covet? C-O-V-E-T. Covet. What does that word mean? Webster is your friend. Somebody talk to me. Dictionary.com is your friend. Covet. What does that word mean? Yes. To want or desire what someone else has. Covet. That's it. Lee, that's it. Tiki, that's it. So you can't tell me that their spouse is supposed to be with you when they're already in a covenant. So because you're coveting what's already in a covenant does not make it yours. When we covet anything that does not belong to us, and we want it, we desire it, it belongs to somebody else. But we want it so bad that we're willing to do whatever it takes to get it. That is covet. God says that has to be killed. That has to be, because here's the thing. Here is the thing. We want and desire what our eyes see because we see it from a distance, not knowing what it takes to be close to that thing. Are y'all understanding this part right here? We want we like it from a distance, but we don't know what it's like to live with it. So you see it on Instagram on the reel and you say, "Oh wow, that looks good. I bet that's good. I bet that tastes good. I bet that feels good. I bet that looks good. I bet that smells good. I want to be close to that." You like it, you covet it from a distance. But if you got close enough to it, what you think smells good is musty. What you think feels good will lie to you. What you think looks good will deceive you. He says you like what you like because you don't have proximity. You're not close enough to it. So God has been trying to keep you away from what can be toxic or kill you by allowing you to have some distance, by allowing you to have some space. Is this making sense to us tonight? All right, here's the last part of it, and then I'm about to give y'all part two. He says it right here. On account of these things, the wrath of God is coming. In these you too once walked when you were living in them. Here's the last part. But now you must put them all away: anger, wrath, malice, slander, and obscene talk from your mouth, not lying to one another, and having put on the new self, which is being renewed in knowledge after the image of its creator. We are renewing in knowledge. We are renewing our mind to understand the image that we're called to bear. And that image is the image, the likeness of God. We are here to be his reflections in the earth, that we walk, that we talk, that we live according to his image, reflections of that. And this is a continual journey. This is why I am 100% not afraid to say these types of things publicly, because these are the types of things that have saved my life, changed my life, altered my life forever. And so I will give you the absolute truth, because I understand that my ultimate calling is to please the Father and to see people live out the freedom that comes from Christ and Christ alone. So in sharing these things with you, it is because I love you so much. And I want to see you experience what true new life looks like. And I'm telling you, a mental reset is required. And in this series, you will get your reset. Just keep step by step, day by day, sometimes second by second, you will get your reset. Not because I'm saying it, but because of who God is. And I know what I heard. And I 120% believe it for you. I want to pray with you right there. God, thank you for every person committed and locking in right now, listening, tuning in, desiring more. God, I thank you for the reset that is happening in our life. Thank you for the practicality of your word, that this is where the true work begins. The daily journey begins. Walking in community with other people begins, that can hold us accountable. Thank you that your yes is your yes and your no is your no. Thank you for speaking to our hearts and our minds, that we are burying that old way in order to embrace new life. God, thank you. In Jesus' name. Amen. If this helped you tonight, drop a reset in the chat. Any questions, drop them in. I'm gonna do two things at work at once. Yeah. Oh wow, incredible feedback. I'll have to go back and check out some of the comments that I may have missed. But I want to answer your questions in that you have. At the same time, I want to ask you if you will not only ask questions, but if you will also partner with us tonight in a couple of different ways. Some of you may choose to partner with us in prayer, and we would greatly appreciate that. In three ways. In prayer. Also, some of you may desire, just to be a part of something, to like serve and be in community. And we're launching something called 10 Squads for that. And lastly, is the opportunity to partner in generosity. It is our decision to say, this is my house, and I'll never let my house go empty. So I'm choosing to partner in that magnitude. And it is because of our partners. And they'll put all the information on the screen for us. And so get ready. I want us to give in that capacity. And so, again, there are a couple things happening simultaneous right here. I'll share some information while you're doing that. And so the information's in the chat to give, and it'll be on the screen. And while they're doing that, so in 2 weeks, the week of September the 17th, we are launching something called 10 Squads. Actually, I should say it this way. We launched them earlier this year. They are continuing in a different capacity in 2 weeks. And so you may ask, what is a 10 Squad? A 10 Squad is a group of approximately 10 people that literally walk through life together, men and women, right? Who walk through life together. They link up weekly online, and they connect throughout the month in person. We do outreach together. We pray together. We talk. We go to each other's kids' games. We do life truly together. This is unlike anything we've ever done. 10 Squads, yes, they're small groups, but they're like 10x small groups. And if you're not in a 10 Squad, do me a favor. Actually, do you a favor and put the number 10 in the chat. If you do not, if you like, hey, I've never been a part of something like that, or maybe I've been something similar to that, but I want it again, and I don't have a community to rock with like that, I dare you to drop the number 10 in the chat. Bam. If you're not in a 10 Squad, but you're looking for something more, put the number 10 in the chat. We want to connect with you. We want to rock with you because it's only going to get better, right? So put the number 10 in this squad. In the chat. I'm saying in the chat, I love 10 squads. I love 10 squads. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Listen, fam, this is where it's at, all right? And so not next week, but the week after that, they kick off the 10 squads. Yeah, put the number 10 in the chat if you're not a part of a 10 squad. I'm telling you, man, it's absolutely incredible. Listen, this too, for those who are asking, you do not have to be a part of Life Revolution to be in a 10 Squad. Right? You want to hear that. So we have guests tuning in, people who live in different cities, who they want a place to connect frequently. Listen, we have redesigned and built our house differently, so we're not tied to just a local facility or a local building. The vision that God has given us is much larger than that, and so wherever you are, wherever you live, man, we have a way to connect with you, right? And so drop that word 10 in the chat. You see the crew's already excited already. Those who are in a 10 squad already. So, man, shout out to them for sure. For sure. One other thing before we get out of here tonight. Listen, September the 17th, right? I was saying it right. September 17th, right? Cool. It's our next in-person gathering. We're not waiting until October, that first Sunday in October. During this Reset series, we are adding some experiences, right? During this series, during Reset. So September 17th, back in person. Again, if you listen, Isaiah, remind me, we have to drop some footage. We have to drop some footage from Sunday. Oh my, we have, listen, if you miss, I know people say that all the time. I'm not even going to go there, but it was unlike anything that I've ever experienced in this house, what transpired Sunday. That was unreal to me. September 17th is all I'm going to say. Do be there. All right? Be there. Listen, thank you all for your generosity tonight, for praying continually, for locking in. The last thing would be drop in the chat. How was tonight? Did tonight help you? Even if you don't have any questions, it's 8:05. I know some of you are tired. I pray that tonight was a moments of you being rejuvenated, speaking to your spirit, Talk to me in the chat real quick. I want to vibe for a minute. Let me pull up a little bit closer. How was tonight? Talk to me. How was tonight? Was it helpful? Was it instrumental? Was it practical? Because the ultimate goal is for us to walk away and to be able to apply, right? To be able to apply what we heard, right? So, really quick, before we get out of here, talk to me in the chat. Let me know. Sherelle Cruz, last Sunday, God, thank you for helping me out, Isaiah. I couldn't see that screen. Thank you. I couldn't see that. The computer is way too far away from me. I can see it now, though. Last Sunday, God did what he did. Yes. What he do. Excuse me. I like that. I like it. I like it. I said, do that put it up on the screen, man, so I can see it too. I couldn't see the other ones. Eye opening, truly phenomenal. Truly phenomenal. I like to see it. I like to see it. I thank you. Listen, I thank you for sharing that tonight. Again, I pray that tonight was extremely helpful. Yeah. Tiff, tonight was refreshing. Love to hear it. Tiff, we missed you last weekend. Hopefully you can be there on the 17th. And I love having you in there. Man, Tiff has been LRC from day one, before we even launched. So that's amazing. Absolutely. So listen, I love you all so very much. Put this one on repeat. All right. Listen to it when you're working out, driving somewhere, sharing it with a friend. Our YouTube has been getting more exposure. And Cheryl, I think I saw Cheryl Dan come up to a minute ago. Our YouTube channel has been getting more and more exposure and reaching people far beyond where we are. Thank you all for sharing this with friends and coworkers, these messages and this content. Without you, we can't do this. And so I thank you. Tonight was amazing, making me reevaluate some of my circles, especially people who try to keep me in a place I've grown from, like they don't want to see or appreciate the growth. Wow. Incredible, Cheryl. Absolutely incredible. And I thank God for that, for sure. My man Wendell said, indeed. Wendell, you like indeed like I like intentional. Man, that's my guy. I'm honored. I love you all so very much. We love you all so much. Let's keep growing and doing it together. Your reset's here. Mental reset. I love y'all. Man, peace.